If you've ever stood on a tee box, looked around and thought to yourself, I could live here, or I wonder what the homes cost in this neighborhood, this video is for you. And if you've landed here, chances are you might be searching for a home in Roseville, and the idea of living on a golf course in Roseville may have piqued your interest a little bit. I get it. I love living on a golf course, and I'm happy today to dive into the 6 golf courses that are here in Roseville. I'm going to tell you about all of the real estate that surrounds them and go through some of the values of the properties and what it might look like to make one of these homes yours. So whatever reason you might have for wanting to live on a golf course, I think this video is going to be for you. You're going to find value in it, kind of no matter your space. So whether you're looking to just kind of escape the chaos and get into something a little bit more serene, if you're looking for early retirement, or if you're like me and you kind of just want that activity nearby. You want the recreation that's handy to get out onto the course and go play a few holes or go play around. You want to be able to walk there, then we're going to have some fun with this video. I'm Jeff Goolsby. I'm a lifelong Roseville resident. I specialize in selling homes here in the Roseville area, and I'm also an avid golfer. So let's dive into what your options would look like when it comes to living on a golf course in Roseville. Now, the only exclusive golf course in Roseville is Sierra View Country Club. It's the only private country club in Roseville proper. Now, there are private country clubs nearby, but this video, again, we're just talking about Roseville golf courses. Sierra View Country Club is a beautiful course. I did a full video about that course. You can go check it out. And I do talk about the real estate in that area as well. But today we're specifically just talking about the homes that are surrounding the courses. I am going to dive a little bit into each course. Now, Sierra View plays pretty well. It's not an extremely challenging course. It's relatively affordable in comparison to some of the other private courses that are in the area. So you can get into a membership for somewhere maybe around 10 grand, and the dues, and also it depends on your age. If you're a young guy, you might be able to get in for less than 10,000. If you're over 40 years old, which that's what I'm calling young, by the way, is under 40. But if you're over 40, then that's the regular membership, and I think that's somewhere in the $10,000 to $15,000 range. So the dues are relatively good when it comes to private country clubs. Now, the course itself plays pretty well. It's not a hard course. It's fairly open. It's plush. It's very well kept. The greens are always in good shape. I mean, just the course is very well kept. And you have some cool properties surrounding it. So in comparison to some of the other Roseville homes that we're going to talk about in a little bit, you don't have quite as many homes surrounding the course, which I guess is a good thing. If you do surround the course, there's a good chance you have some separation between like your backyard and the actual course. Not many homes are actually on the fairway. There's usually like a green belt or some field or separation between them, which could be kind of cool. It's sort of like the best of both worlds. You get to live on the course, but you don't have some of the cons that come with it, like, you know, people driving by in their golf carts and stuff like that. Total number of homes on Sierra View Country Club is 116 homes. Now, some of those homes are condos. They're like a townhouse, single-story style condo that are on the course. And it's a pretty cool community. There is a HOA that's associated with it, and those properties are going to be a little bit smaller. They're closer to like the 1,500 square foot range. On a spread, you have everything from those little tiny condos that could get really small, like in the 1,000 square foot range, up to large custom homes that are on Diamond Oaks Road or just off of Diamond Oaks Road. And those could get up to like 3,800 square feet or so. The lot sizes range from the condos being very small to some of the more custom homes having like almost an acre lot. The homes are built between basically like 1924 on the low end up to like this. My list says 2013 based on the data. That is probably because one of the homes had been rebuilt at some point in time. But the reality is like most of these homes are in the 70s and 80s. Especially when we talk about like Diamond Oaks Road. But there is Alta Vista Road, which is technically to the south side of the course, and those homes were built in the mid 1900s, so 1924 to 1950. A good majority of those homes will have a pool, about 25% have a pool, and the prices are going to range from $400,000, that's the condo, up to $1 million, which is the larger custom built homes. If you're on the older home side, like the 1950s or so, depending on the size of the house, let's say average size house is going to be around 2,000 square feet. That's probably in like the $800s, $1,000 range, maybe a little bit less than that, just depending on it has it been updated or not. And then if you get into the custom side over on the Diamond Oaks, and let's say it's a little bit bigger, it's like 3,000 square feet or so, that home on the golf course, on Diamond Oaks, or in one of those courts back there, if it has a pool, that could be in the $950,000 or $1 million range. Ultimate highlight reel from the Sierra View Country Club homes is some of them are vintage, built in the early 1900s. You have a wide variety of architecture type. You are backing up to a private country club, which has its benefits. And also, one of the benefits is that you're kind of still like in the heart of Roseville. You're in 95678 zip code, which is essentially like central Roseville. And if you live in that neighborhood, not only do you have access, to the beauty of the golf course, but you have really easy access to like the fountains, Galleria Mall, getting on the freeway is simple. So there are some additional perks to living on this golf course. Now, the golf course just next door to Sierra View Country Club is my personal favorite, the course that I live on, and that is Diamond Oaks Golf Course. Diamond Oaks Golf Course was established in 1963. It's a public course. It's owned and maintained by the city of Roseville. It's one of 2 courses that Roseville maintains, which the other one we'll get into in a little bit. There's also a wide variety of properties. You have homes that are built in the 70s and 80s over on Diamond Oaks, and then you have homes that were built in the late 90s, early 2000s over in the Highland Reserve and Heritage at Diamond Oaks subdivision. We'll get into that in just a second. One of the benefits of this neighborhood, similar to Sierra View, is the proximity to the city. Like, you can get over to the mall very quickly. You can get over to the fountains. All of the shopping and kind of stuff is right here in this area. All the amenities are right nearby. And that's personally why I love living in this neighborhood. But when it comes to the golf course, it's a public course. It's a pretty easy play. I did a full video on Diamond Oaks Golf Course that you can go check out to learn some more of the stats. It's a nice course. In my opinion, it's my preferred public course in Roseville because it's relatively easy to get out on. It's very well kept. Some of the golfers that I talk to say that they prefer this course over Wood Creek, which, each their own, but and it's a good pace of play. It does get backed up on some of the more busier weekends, but for the most part, it's a good course. There are almost exactly 191 homes backing up to the Diamond Oaks Golf Course. Now, some of those homes are going to be older in the 1970 range, and that's going to be like over on Nicholas Circle or Jennifer Circle. Some of the areas over on the Diamond Oaks side, that's really close, basically just across the street from where Sierra View Country Club homes are. Though it's gonna have some nice architecture, driving through, whenever people come into town, they always like that neighborhood. They always say it has character and they just like the feel of it. Now, it's not for everybody. If you're looking for more of like kind of your standard construction, newer construction, like 2000 and up, then you aren't gonna, vibe with that necessarily, but you've got a little bit more better architecture, I would say, a little bit more character than some of the newer neighborhoods. It's smaller though too, because they're older homes. They didn't build massive ones back then, so those are gonna be like in the 2,000 square foot range, and price range is gonna vary significantly. Like, it really depends. Has it been updated? Does it have a pool? Is it a single story? There are some tri-levels over there, and so the price range is gonna be kind of all over the place. However, you can sort of plan on there being about an $800,000 to $900,000 price tag on some of those properties that back up to the course and that are in good condition. On the other side of the course, this is the side that I live on, which is the Highland Reserve side, you have newer, larger homes that generally back up to the course. Now this neighborhood is made up of like 1,800 houses, but the ones that back along the course tend to be larger homes. These are, you can get single-story homes, and those might be in like the 2,700 square foot range, up to the two-story homes, which can get up to like 4,000 square feet. For these homes that are larger size in Highland Reserve or Heritage by Diamond Oaks, these homes are going to range in the upper 900 to million, 2 million, 3 range. Depends, of course, on a lot of factors like condition, size, does it have a pool, is it a single story? Like, there's a lot that goes into that, but for the most part, you can kind of plan on being right around $1 million. The benefit of these homes is you do get larger lot sizes than some of the newer neighborhoods in Roseville. For sure, you can get a 1/4 acre lot. Some of the properties are 1/2 acre lot, which is kind of unusual. There's maybe only a handful of those, but you can get some larger lot size. Most of them have 3-car garages. Many of them have a pool. Looking at the data here, it says about 25% of the homes that back up to Diamond Oaks have a pool, and I would say probably a larger percentage of the homes that are in Highland Reserve or Heritage that back up to the golf course have a pool. You'll have a little bit more maturity, a little bit more trees and stuff than some of the newer neighborhoods in Roseville. And the basic kind of profile for people that live here is kind of a mix. You have, you might be like early retiree, you might have just retired, you might also be a young person with a family. Like, I know plenty of people that live on the course that are kind of similar age group as me and have young kids. Personally, why I love living on this golf course is I can get out at night, walk around with the family on the course. We can get out and walk over to the clubhouse and have lunch or breakfast. It's cool. It's cool living on here, and the kids enjoy it. And also, I'm a golfer, so I love just watching people play, right? Like, I can open my window right now and peek out and see somebody putting. So it's just living on the course has been really, really fun. Overall highlights for living on Diamond Oaks is you have a wide variety of homes. You can get into a larger home. You can get into a newer home if you choose, or you can live into a home with some character that was built in the 70s or 80s. And as an added reminder to the benefit of living on Diamond Oaks is you're right in the heart of town, and you have all of the other amenities beyond just the golf course. Now let's talk about the neighborhood that has 2 golf courses. This one is specifically for those of you that are 55 and older. This is a Sun City community, and there are 2 golf courses in this neighborhood. Timber Creek is the 18-hole golf course, and Sierra Pines is the 9-hole course in Roseville. Now, I'm gonna group these together when we talk about the real estate because it doesn't differ all that much, not like significantly. There are some larger properties that back up to Timber Creek in comparison to Sierra Pines. It's the same neighborhood, it's Sun City, Roseville, so we're just gonna talk about the whole neighborhood. So total homes that back up to the course, 752 homes. Now there are over 3,000 homes that are in the Sun City neighborhood. 752, that's a pretty good percentage when you think about homes that just back up to the course. Now most of these homes back up directly to the course. One thing that is kind of unique in regards to Roseville golf course homes is these ones don't all have fences. In all of the other courses in Roseville, if you back up to the course, you have maybe a wrought iron fence, or you even have a wood fence. These ones in Sun City technically don't have fences. Now you can put a wrought iron fence up if you have a pet or something like that, but many of them don't have fences, so it's just kind of open, which honestly is kind of cool. It feels like you literally live on the golf course, which I guess you do, but it just feels like one less barrier to getting out there. The beauty here is you can have your own cart, you can drive your own cart to the course. There is a membership option, although it is not a private club. Both of the courses out there are public courses. They play pretty well. There's no significant difference between the two courses in terms of skill level or ease of play. I mean, each one of them have kind of their own challenges. Timber Creek is just a bigger course, 18 holes. So there's a little bit more water and stuff like that, but for the most part, they play similarly. The home sizes range from basically 1,000 square feet. It's pretty rare to have one of the smaller homes like that on the golf course, up to 2,600 square feet. Regardless of the home size, they're pretty much all going to be 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom. When you get into the bigger home size, you might get a 2.5 car, which is basically a 2-car garage with a golf cart garage, or some of them do have 3-car garages. Those are a little bit less common, but they do exist, and especially exist on the course because of the larger homes. Average range of price to be on the course. If you're the smallest possible house on the course, your price point is probably going to be like just under $500,000, and that's for a 960 square foot home. Again, there aren't many of those that exist. The average size home is going to be right around 1,500 to 1,600 square feet, and if you're on the course and the house is in good shape, that price is going to be close to about $650,000 or so. Now they get up to $1 million. That's uncommon. You don't see $1 million sales. It would really have to be the absolute biggest home that's really dialed in, very well updated, and have some sort of like total wow factor. Most of those larger homes are trading or selling for somewhere in like the 850 range. So for the largest home, you could probably plan on spending about 850. I do think it's fair to say time out. As I talk about these homes and the prices, you gotta imagine like this is just the video from today, and the market fluctuations happen often. So just keep in mind that these are today's prices. They're rough estimates, and mostly what I'm talking to you about today is the true real estate. Of course, we're talking about value, but value changes. The other benefit to living on the course in Sun City Roseville is, of course, everything else that comes with Sun City Roseville. You have the clubhouse, you have that community aspect. You have so many clubs that you could get involved with. There's pickleball, there's tennis, there's pools, there's a gym, there's the clubhouse itself, there's Timber Lodge, which is a public restaurant, but public does attend there. However, it's more common to just have the residents there. On any given night, you might have a band playing, there might be a fun theme, and just some cool community events that you might want to participate in. So beyond living on the course, you also live within the community, and there's some value to that. It's on the west side of Roseville, not the furthest part of West Roseville. It used to border Fitiment Road, which used to be basically the very edge, western edge of Roseville up until like the late 90s, early 2000s. Since then, we've expanded a ton, so there's a lot more houses back there. There's even a little bit of commercial properties going in, but it is on the kind of western edge. So you don't get as easy access to some of the like mall and shopping and stuff like that, but let's face it, it's not that difficult to get over to that side of town. And if you did live there, you lived on that golf course, and like healthcare or amenities, easy access to amenities are important to you, it's still accessible. You can get there within about a 10-minute, 15-minute drive, most places that you need to go. Of course, you need to get to Sacramento, you get on the freeway and take that trip down to Sacramento, you can be there in about 30 minutes. So, highlight reel for Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, living on those courses. If you're 55 plus, you're looking for that retirement lifestyle, you're looking for the community, you want to live on a nice course, you don't need a massive home, you just want something that's, modest size, could be 1,200 square feet, 1,500 square feet, or 2,600 square feet. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines are going to have those options for you. The sister course to Diamond Oaks is Wood Creek. This is another Roseville City owned and maintained public golf course. So, Wood Creek opened in 1995. It's a good course, it plays very well, At one point in time, back when it was first developed, it was like one of the top rated public courses in all of Northern California. It's still very well maintained. I mentioned earlier in this video that some people prefer Diamond Oaks over Wood Creek. I don't know about that. I personally enjoy both courses. Wood Creek is the course that I personally grew up on. I played it. My grandparents still live on that course actually today, and it's got a wide variety of properties. So let's get into that. If you want to live on a golf course, but you don't want to live in a 55+ community, Wood Creek is going to have the largest number of homes potentially to choose from. What I mean by that is there are 239 properties that back up to Wood Creek Golf Course. Now there's a strip of homes kind of on the northwest side of the course, and those homes range in like the 1,500 to 2,000 square foot range. It's a pretty small strip, maybe only like 15 or so properties. The rest of the homes are going to be larger. Those are going to range from 2,000 square feet up to 4,000 square feet. For the most part, they are semi-custom and some custom homes that back up to the course. Some of the customs are in the Mistywood neighborhood. That is not a gated community. It's a cool neighborhood because there are custom homes that go alongside the course and on the greenbelt. And then there are also what I call production homes, which you might call track homes, but as you drive through there, it doesn't feel like today's track home. They were just homes that were built as a track home back then. I call them production homes. So you have kind of a mix of lifestyle. It's not as exclusive as like the gated community lifestyle. These homes are ranging, like I said, in size from 2,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet. And then the bulk of the properties that back up to Wood Creek Oaks Golf Course are in gated communities. Now there are basically 2 gated communities, but that pretty much builds up about 180 or so. I'm kind of ballparking, but of the 240 homes, that should represent about 180 of them. Now these homes also are in the 2,000 to 4,000 square foot range, probably closer to 2,500 to 4,000. When you look at these properties, they're going to be mostly 2-story. There are some single-story. The lot sizes are going to be pretty good size in the 1/4 acre range. They're probably going to have a 3-car garage. Some of them might have a 4-car garage. On the Wood Creek Golf Course, 62% of the homes that back up to Wood Creek Golf Course have a pool. It's kind of a crazy stat. That is the highest stat I've seen so far in all the neighborhoods. The prices are going to vary. That little strip in the northwest side that I talked about earlier, those homes are going to range in like the upper 600, 700 range. They don't come up for sale that often, and there's only a few of them, so kind of tough to bank on those as like your real option. When I'm talking about these properties in Wood Creek Oaks Golf Course, I'm really talking about the Mistywood community, the St. Andrews communities, gated communities that are right off the course. Those homes are going to range in the upper 900 to lower 1 million. So call it somewhere between 900 to like 1.3. Depends a lot on size, of course, condition, pool, a lot of those other factors that influence the value of the property. But that's pretty much the range that you can depend on. So one of the other benefits of the course is Legends and Heroes Bar and Grill. It's a big bar. They do weddings there. They do big gatherings and events. There's not too many houses that are close to that, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about like big parties and being disturbed by noise and such. But if you want to hop in, you want to have breakfast or lunch or dinner, pretty much 7 days a week at this facility, it's a good spot to go. They have a ton of TVs up. You can always go in during game day. They have kind of a cool deal with kids where kids eat free. It is a bar and grill, but you can get, you can get a steak, you can get burgers, you can get hot dogs, you can get all that stuff, of course. And then they have a good breakfast menu as well. The other benefit to living along this course is you're just a little bit closer to town than you would be in like Sun City, Roseville. You're not as close as you would be in Diamond Oaks and Sierra View, but you can access all the amenities in Roseville and you can still live that golf course life. Now, if you want a golf course home that has a little bit more of a wow factor, you're looking for a little bit more luxury, you're looking for a little bit more maybe exclusivity and privacy, then Morgan Creek Golf Course might be for you. Now, Morgan Creek is on the southern west side of Roseville. It's technically unincorporated Roseville, which means a lot of the services are like Placer County. It's not within the actual Roseville incorporated limits. What does that mean for you? It means that you have different services, like you don't have Roseville City Electric, you don't have Roseville City PD or fire department. They use some of the county resources for that. But for the most part, it's gonna live pretty similar to how it would for any other Roseville resident. And technically it still has a Roseville address, so I include it as a part of Roseville in most of my discussions. Now, Morgan Creek is mostly built primarily of custom homes. On the back nine, there are some more like production style homes. They pretty much look like custom homes or semi-custom. They're large, but the ones on the front nine are definitely the custom built, like true Morgan Creek custom homes. Morgan Creek originally started as a private country club. It's transitioned a while ago into a public course, and full disclosure, I'm not an authority on this matter, but there have been several articles over the last few years where Morgan Creek has talked about trying to sell off the back nine and have Morgan Creek just be a 9-hole course. They want to sell off the back nine for development purposes. So as far as I know, the last time they proposed that, it did not pass. Obviously, people that live on the back nine are concerned about that and don't want their home value to go down, which is understandable. And they put up a pretty good fight back in like 2023 from the last article that I read. So by the time you're watching this video, if it's a couple years down the road, who knows if Morgan Creek is still an 18-hole course, it may become a 9-hole course. I don't know, I think they're gonna have a hard time doing that. So Morgan Creek, beautiful homes. You can get a 2,600 square foot home on the course, which is hard to find, but you can find them. And then you can get a 7,000 square foot luxury, custom built home on the course. It is a guard gated community, meaning when you go up to the gate, there's a guard there, and he has to let you in. You either tell him you're going to play golf or visiting someone, or of course if you're a homeowner and you just have a fob, you get right through. The lot sizes range from, I would say, a 1/4 acre up to 3/4 of an acre when you're on the course. Now there are some, very few, that get into like acre or even 2-acre range, and it has a lot to do with just where exactly it lands. There's just some kind of odd shaped lots that make it really big. 59% of the homes that back up to the golf course have a pool in Morgan Creek. The price range is going to vary significantly. If you're on the back nine side, the production, those are the kind of semi-custom homes, those prices are going to be in the like 900 to lower 1 million range. If you're on the front nine and you're in the big customs, those are going to range from the 1.4 up to 2.5 million. I would say probably average price point is probably around that like 1.7 range. Now these homes are very well built. A lot of them have like a Mediterranean style. Some of them have been built recently, like within the last few years, and they are a little bit more modern. Most of these homes were built early 2000, 2003 to like 2015. Like I said, some of them have been built very recently. I think the newest one was built in 2024. I don't know if I mentioned, there are a total of 174 homes surrounding the entire golf course. Overall, to recap the highlights of this course, this is if you want a little bit more exclusivity, you kind of want to be tucked away from town. You are not far removed, just like most places in Roseville. You can get where you need to go within about 15 minutes or so. But this is if you want just a little bit more privacy, a little bit more luxury, and you want a beautiful course to plan. So whether you're looking for low maintenance style, retirement living, or you want just a nice serene view, easy access to a public course, or that exclusive kind of luxury style living, Roseville has what you need when it comes to golf course living. And if you want to dive deeper into every single golf course, I've done a video on each one. You can get on and do a deep dive on each golf course. I know this has been a long video. Thanks for hanging with me. If you found value in this video, I want you to push the like button, and I'd love it if you would subscribe. I post videos similar to this and just introduce you to what it's like to live in Roseville, and hope that you find value in it. I'm Jeff Goolsby from Real Broker in Roseville, and thanks for watching my video.